Hey guys, give you some really quick notes here on pain and rehab and the developmental sequence that everyone goes through when they are a wee babe. Okay, there's a lot here. Okay, but basically the developmental sequence is as follows here. 0 to 3 months, you're developing your spinal muscles and the ability to connect your limbs to your belly button. So pulling your belly in and moving your arms and legs around. Okay, 3 to 5 months, you're developing the upper body push and the lower body pull. So pulling your knees into your chest, thinking happy baby. Kind of a lot of people will be familiar with that yoga pose. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying pulling your knees towards your chest is the 2-leg pull. Okay. Then you look at 5 to 8 months, and this is the homolateral phase of development, where you drive with your leg like you're standing, and you press with your arm. Okay, so that develops at 5 to 8 months. Now, at the 3 to 5 month phase here, after that phase, after you've developed the 2-arm push, 2-leg pull, then you sit up and you actually sprout your first tooth, which is your bottom 2 teeth. I'm going to make another presentation on that, but basically, I want you to really ingrain this into your minds. If you have a herniated disc, that has to do with the developmental period from 0 to 3 months, where you're developing spinal muscles and your ability to pull your belly in. Okay, so it's your deep core contraction, it's your pelvic floor, and it's your tongue muscle development. Okay, and then like if you're having pain when you sit, okay, you need to look at what comes before that. It's like, I can't ride in a car for extended periods of time. Okay, that's because you need more development from 0 to 5 months, the things that developed during that time period. So your spinal muscles, your deep core muscles, your tongue muscles, your 2-arm pressing, and your 2-leg pulling. That's what your rehabilitation program should be covering. Okay, so if you got any kind of herniated disc or pain with sitting, and you're doing things like pushing with your lower body, which would be like lifting your hips off the ground, you're doing the wrong stuff. That's not going to get you there. And a lot of therapists are going to give you that, but the science is really simple when it comes to the developmental sequence. Okay, so 0 to 3 months, 3 to 5 months, 5 to 8 months. If you have any kind of rotation in the system, if you have a scoliosis, you guaranteed have a deficit at the homolateral stage of development from 5 to 8 months, which means standing on your leg and pressing at the same time. Now, if you have an issue there, you have to look at what came before that, which is the 2-arm press, the 2-leg pull. And if you have an issue with that, if that gives you pain to pull your knees to your chest, you got to go back even further, which is your deep core. Okay, so there's a whole sequence here. And if you're having pain, then you have an issue. I'll put it to you this way. If you have a deficit in the first phase of development here, and you try to run, which is down here at 12 months, gait, you're going to get injured and you're going to have pain from just walking around. Okay, so you got to go through this developmental sequence. A good rehabilitative program is going to bring you through all the phases of development, starting with the phase that you need. For most people that I work with, and I always test this, we have deep core function assessment to check and see, hey, do we need to focus on the deep core? We have assessment to say, hey, do we need to focus on the 2-arm press and the 2-leg pull? Where do we need to start so that you're not regressing too far? Where do we need to spend our time so we can get to where we want to go without skipping anything, but also without wasting time? Okay, so if you have a disc issue, if you have spinal pain and your therapist is having you do hip bridges, find a new therapist. I work online. Hit me up. Find someone who has a really, really great track record with the issues that you have. I work with everything from herniated discs all the way to performance level athletes that, you know, ride in you know, AA horse shows and compete, equestrian, and, you know, who are decathletes. And I do all the whole 9 yards. But if you're having pain, you have to look at, where is that pain coming from? What do I need to focus on? Developmentally speaking, where are my deficits? Because if you're having back pain and you're doing hip bridges, you're missing the point. There's so much more that has to be done before you can ever consider doing something like that. Now, much less pulling things, you know, bent over rows. Everybody loves their bent over rows, their single arm bent over rows. Brachiation, which is, you know, reaching and pulling something, that doesn't happen until the 7 to 11 month phase. Okay. So, you know, if you got a back issue and somebody has you doing a row, well, you need to find someone else who is better equipped intellectually to help you. Okay. So I just wanted to make this quick video to offer some direction for people out there who are struggling. Now, I mean, I might as well touch on it since migraines are a super common issue that are very misunderstood. If you're having migraine issues, this will just be kind of an insight. I'm going to release another video that has to do with all kinds of neck pathology. Basically, your tongue is weak and you need to spend time at that 0 to 3 month developmental stage where you're developing your deep core, your spinal muscles, and your tongue muscles. You're like, oh, but remember, if you have migraines or herniated discs, you have to go through the entire developmental sequence in a step-by-step fashion in order to actually get better. Like, you can't just do isolation work for your deep core and expect it to translate to you jogging. It will not work. You have to go through the whole sequence. You have to take that deep core, integrate it into your 2-arm pressing, integrate it into your 2-leg pulling, integrate it into your standing on a leg while you push, integrate it into your lunging and your squatting and your pulling with your upper body, and then integrate it into gait. So, you know, again, I hope this helps somebody out there. I'm here to help. This is what I do. My business is entirely online at this point. Get great results. So if you need help, you've seen a lot of people, or maybe you haven't seen a lot of people, but you just want to cut through the noise and get the approach that works. The whole approach, not just like, oh, I'm going to put your spine back. It's like, yeah, your spinal muscles are supposed to hold your spine in place, but you got to look at all this other stuff. If you don't redevelop the whole body, you can't, unfortunately, for 95% of the people out there who are struggling, you can't actually get better. So I'm here to help. I'm a resource. Talk to me. And I hope y'all have a great day.